If you are selling a home in West Houston, the biggest pricing mistake I see is not simply pricing too high. You have probably heard that before. However, the bigger mistake is pricing your home without understanding how buyers are mentally sorting value before they ever step inside your property. That is where sellers can lose momentum before they even know they've lost it. I'm Raquel Bell with Bell Property Group, and after more than a decade of helping sellers throughout the West Houston and surrounding markets, I can tell you this: pricing is not just a number. Pricing is positioning. It tells the market what kind of buyer you are trying to attract, what kind of competition you are willing to go up against, and whether your home feels like a smart opportunity or a stretch. And in today's market, that matters. We're seeing well-positioned homes move in 30 days or less, and that is in certain price points, of course. Some homes are attracting multiple offers and some are selling above lists. But those results are not happening because sellers simply picked an aggressive price and hoped the market would catch up. They are happening when the home is priced inside the buyer's perception of value from the very beginning. That is the part most sellers don't hear enough. A buyer may love your home. They may love your kitchen, your lot, your pool, your gated community, your school zoning, your floor plan, and your finishes. But if the price does not line up with how they are comparing your home to the rest of the market, they hesitate, and hesitation is expensive. Buyers in West Houston and the surrounding areas are not just asking, "Can I afford this?" They are asking, "Does this move make sense?" They are comparing your home against new construction, resale homes, gated communities, acreage properties, and other lifestyle-driven pockets of West Houston. They are weighing commute, schools, lot size, tax rate, HOA, condition, upgrades, and long-term resale value. So when a seller says, "Let's price it high and leave room to negotiate," what they may not realize is that many buyers never make it to the negotiating table. They simply skip the home. That mindset of leaving a cushion can work against you now because buyers are shopping online first. They are watching price bands. They are saving homes, and they are comparing photos side by side. They're also asking their agents, "Is this one overpriced?" before they ever schedule a showing. So the real pricing mistake is this: pricing for negotiation instead of pricing for demand. Those are two very different strategies. Pricing for negotiation says, "Let's start high and see what happens." Pricing for demand says, "Let's position this home so the right buyers feel urgency, can see value, and understand why this home deserves that attention now." That does not mean underpricing your home. I want to be very clear about that. As a seller, especially in this market, your goal is not to give your home away. Your goal is to create the strongest possible market response. Sometimes that means pricing right at the top of a realistic range. Sometimes it means pricing just below a major search threshold to pull in more qualified buyers. Sometimes it means holding firm because the home has a rare feature that the market will realize. And sometimes it means adjusting before the market starts labeling the home for you. That is where experience matters. In West Houston, two homes can be the same square footage and the same price, but they may not carry the same value. A home on an oversized lot is different from a standard lot. A lake view is different from an interior lot. A gated section can perform differently from the same floor plan outside the gate. A custom or semi-custom build may compete differently than a production home. A home with a strong outdoor living experience may attract a different buyer than a home with only interior upgrades. This is why pricing cannot be based on one neighbor's sale. Your neighbor's home may have sold quickly, but what was the lot? What was the condition of the home? What concessions were given? Did it actually appraise? Was it a cash offer? Did the seller pay for repairs? Was there a leaseback in place? Was the offer truly above list, or was it priced intentionally to create that result? These details matter. The MLS close price only tells part of the story. A seasoned pricing strategy looks at what happened behind the number. One of the most important things I look at with sellers is what I call the buyer's alternative. If a buyer does not choose your home, what else can they buy at that same price? That is your real competition, not just the home down the street, not just the one that sold 3 months ago. It is the active and pending inventory that your buyer can choose from right now. If your home is priced at $900,000, you need to know what else a buyer sees at $850,000, $875,000, $900,000, $925,000, and even $950,000. Why, you may ask? Because if the home price slightly higher offers a pool, stronger updates, better lot, better community amenities, or a newer build, your price may actually be making that other home look like a better value. That is the part sellers often do not see from the kitchen table. Your home is deeply personal to you, but buyers are making a business decision wrapped in an emotional experience. They want to feel something when they walk in, but they also want the numbers to make sense when they go home and think about it. The other mistake is ignoring the data during the first several days on the market. I do not just look at whether we have an offer. I look at showing activity, online saves, agent feedback, repeat showings, buyer objections, showings to offer ratio, and how buyers are responding compared to similar homes. That early feedback tells us whether the market agrees with the price. If a home is getting strong traffic but no offers, that may tell us one thing. If it is getting views but no showings, that tells us something else. If buyers are showing up and consistently mentioning the same concern, we need to listen. The market will speak. The question is whether you have someone experienced enough to interpret what it is saying. And here's what I want sellers to understand. A price reduction is not the problem. A late price correction is the problem. When a home sits too long, buyers begin to build a story around it. They wonder if something is wrong. They wonder if the seller is unrealistic. They wonder how much room they have to negotiate. That can shift the power away from the seller. The goal is to avoid letting the market control your story. So before you sell your home, do not just ask, what can we list it for? Ask, what position does this price put us in? Ask, how would buyers compare us? Ask, does this price create confidence or hesitation? Ask, are we pricing for ego, negotiation, or demand? That is the difference between listing a home and launching a home. When you price with strategy, your marketing becomes stronger. Your presentation makes more sense. Your first week has more impact. And your buyers can clearly understand why your home is worth their attention. So if you are preparing to sell in West Houston and surrounding markets, this is where I would tell you to start. Get a true pricing consultation before you make decisions about repairs, staging, timing, or your launch strategy. because price touches everything. If you are thinking about selling and you want a clear, seasoned look at where your home stands in today's market, schedule a seller consultation with me, Raquel Bell of Bell Property Group. We will look at your home, your goals, your timeline, and your competition so you can price with confidence, protect your momentum, and make your next move with strategy in the West Houston market. Until next time.